thanks for joining us on Pension Matters today. My name is Princess Rabi Ibrahim, and I'm glad to have you join us. On the program today, we'll be discussing the activities of the Surveillance Department of the National Pension Commission. For details of this and more, stay with us as the program will continue shortly. Welcome back. The program is Pension Matters, and it is now time for us to join Adanze Okorocha to tell us what is trailing in the pension industry. Adanze, is over to you.
Thank you very much, Princess. Hello, it's good to have you join me on Pension Thread today. My name is Adanze Okorocha. First on this segment, Edo State government resolve pension issues. Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State has declared his intention to resolve pending pension issues in the state as soon as possible and migrate to the contributory pension scheme. The governor stated this when he received the leadership of the state chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Mr. Emmanuel Ademokun, and his counterpart, Mr. Marshall Ohio, of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC. He said the government will not accept anything that would cause loss of jobs by workers, as the administration is committed to creating more jobs and urge the organized labor to be part of it in the state. In another development, RSA holders to know their funds performance. AXA Mansard Pension has stressed the need for retirement savings account holders and retirees under the contributory pension scheme to understand the techniques surrounding the calculation and performance of their pension fund. According to the PFA, calculating one's fund performance will enable them to know the returns of their investments. The Assistant General Manager of AXA Mansard Pension, Naomi Aduku, said the PFA has discovered some contentions on why the public does not understand the calculation of their pensions. She stressed that, based on this, the PFA embarked on the Enlightenment campaign to educate customers on how to calculate their funds performance in the right manner. To cap it up on Pension Trail today, Plateau State government to clear pension arrears. The Plateau State Governor, Simon Lalong, said arrangement has been completed to pay all arrears of workers and pensioners in the state. The governor said he will continue to give workers and pensioners welfare topmost priority, stressing that no civil servant will be owed a month's salary or pension, as the state government will not want any of them to die due to unpaid wages or pensions. Viewers, that's the much you can take on Pension Thread today. Over to Princess.
Thank you, Adanze, for bringing us activities that took place in the pension industry this week. Viewers, the program is Pension Matters, and it is time for pension education.
Today, pension education focuses on pre-retirement verification exercise. The pre-retirement verification exercise is an exercise done yearly in the civil services and government parastatals for those due to retire either after attaining the age of 50 or putting in 35 years of service or retired voluntarily from service. Intended retirees are advised to do this to enable them access their retirement benefits after retirement and to eliminate ghost workers in the system. The exercise is done at designated zones and centers, of which intended retirees are expected to come along with all necessary documents, including the originals and photocopies of the following documents: letter or gazette of first appointment, letter or gazette of confirmation of appointment, letter or gazette of last promotion, notice of retirement approved by a competent authority, computation sheet for state pensioners with federal shares and steel rolling mills pensioners only. For state pensioners with federal shares, the computation sheet must be stamped and signed by the State Auditor General. Certificate or sworn affidavit of age for due pensioners only. Evidence of payment of gratuity. Severance pay slip for disengaged retirees only. Evidence of change of name where applicable. Letter of appointment as a head of service of the Federation or Federal Permanent Secretary, either from the Secretary to the Government of the Federation or the head of the Civil Service of the Federation for retired permanent secretaries and head of service of the Federation only. duly stamped and signed bank statements of account with a bank logo showing the last 6 months of activity. For state pensioners with federal share, the bank statement must show payments of state share of monthly pension with at least 6 months of activity. For pensioners with complaints, the bank statement must be from the date of retirement or 6 months before the complaint till date. Bank verification number mandatory for all pensioners. Approved letter for condonation or merger of services from the head of service of the Federation. 1 colored passport photograph. For the next of kin of deceased pensioners, the following documents are essential: death certificate of the deceased from a government-recognized hospital, letter of administration, joint application letter by the next of kin as listed on the record of service, marriage certificate for spouses, duly signed and stamped joint bank account statement of the next of kins with bank logo, 1 colored passport photograph for each next of kin. These enumerated documents are necessary. Adhering to this rule will enable every intending retiree access their pension as soon as they leave office without any delay. This is all we have for you on pension education today. Thanks for watching.
If you're just joining us, the program is Pension Matters and it is time for Up Close segment. Today I'll be discussing with MB Umar, the head surveillance department of the National Pension Commission. Sir, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Mr. MB Umar, you are the head of surveillance department, and the surveillance department is the department that takes care of the operators, making sure that they play by the rule as put down by the National Pension Commission as the regulator. So, how do we ensure the safety of pension funds?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, the surveillance department, like you say, is responsible for the supervision of all the operators, licensed operators. Now, how do we take care that the pension assets are safeguarded and protected? We start from the beginning, and that is why we say licensed operators, because you cannot be in the pension business without getting a license.
That's correct.
Issued by the National Pension Commission. So the protection of the assets start from that stage. There are requirements that you need to meet for you to get that license. And such requirements include your financial capability. So you have to have a strong capital to operate in the business, because some of the requirements for this business is highly technologically based. And so you need a lot of money to do that. Secondly, it has to be people of impeccable integrity. So anybody that wants to get a license will be subjected to security checks. Has to go through the SSS, the AFCC, the Central Bank, the NICOM. All the financial sector regulators will have to
before you can get a license.
They have to respond to say that yes, you have a clean bill, you have never involved in anything that has caused loss of assets, whether in the banking or insurance or any sector. And then the police, the SSS will have to say yes, you have never been involved in anything criminal or civil or whatever.
That is the company that want to acquire a license, or all the board of directors?
The shareholders and the board of directors and the management.
Great.
So any shareholder has to will go through that process. If you are also appointed as a director, you will go through that process. If you are also appointed as managing director or executive director or head of department, you must go through that process. So right from the word go, we check that one. So the people that come in are people of utmost integrity. Then when you come in, there are lots of regulations that we put in place. For example, on a daily basis, we know we have a return that you have to send to the commission.
On daily basis?
Daily basis, and it's automatic online. So we can see every day, we can see what type of assets you have bought, what type of assets you have sold. So we can see if you have bought Dangote or PZ or Liba Brothers, we will see it. If you are selling also, we will see. Now, another way is that not one person cannot do the transaction alone. So we have two groups of licensed operators: the pension fund administrator and the pension fund custodian. Now, no one of them can do the transaction alone. The two of them have to come together.
To do the transaction?
Yes, because the pension fund administrator, his own is just to manage the money. As a manager, all that he has to do is to say, okay, buy this and sell this. So they make sure that in his buying and selling, you are making profit.
Does it mean that a pension fund administrator cannot even invest contributions in the retirement savings account without the approval of the pension fund custodian?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, because the custodian is the one that has the money. It's just like, as an individual, if I say that, okay, you are going to keep my money.
Yes.
But I'm the one to make the decision when I want to take the money.
Good.
But but I can only take the money to buy food,
yes,
to buy clothes.
Yes.
So when I come and say I want to take 1,000 naira,
yes,
what am I going to do with it?
So I want to buy food.
If I want to buy food, you will give me. But you will not even give me the cash. You will say, okay, where do you want to buy the food? Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes, Mr. Biggs. Okay, go to Mr. Biggs. I will pay Mr. Biggs. That's how it is. So if I say, okay, I want to go to the movie, you say, no, it's not part of what they say you should use money for.
That is great measures.
That is how it is. So the custodian will only release money, not to the PFA, but to the person that the PFA is buying something from.
Fantastic.
So that's how it is. And the custodian cannot, on his own, use the money
without
the PFA giving the instruction. Because the money is also kept in a bank, and the bank will only must see the signature of these two people.
Yes.
Before they can release the money.
Ms. Umar, at most we have about 21 pension fund administrators in Nigeria right now. And
Yes.
it's a Herculean task. Monitoring them, supervising them, and examining them. So how often do you do all this?
Yes, like I said, we have two types of monitoring. We call the one on-site and off-site. The off-site is just like in football, you are not there, you are not supposed to, so you are watching somebody not in his office, but in your own office. So in PEMCOM here, and that's why I say we have very, very high IT-driven industry. Every day, when my staff come in to the office, first in the morning they open their computer and then they are logged on, then they can see everybody.
Wonderful.
So they will see what they have done yesterday. Everything will come. So there you are seeing everybody. Now, apart from the way you see it is that you see what somebody is buying, what somebody is selling, what money he's getting, how he's investing it, and all that. You also get information at the end of the month. Okay, we have done this, you look at it. But once in a year, we go to the office, and that is the on-site examination. Our staff, about 5 to 7 of our staff, will go to the operator, their head office, and even their branches. Now, they will spend like 2 weeks with them, looking at the books to see, yes, the thing that you are telling me on a daily basis, is it true?
Is it correct?
Yes, is it correct and all that thing. So you cross-check. We also see other things like, okay, their staff. Do they have enough staff? Are the staff been well taken care of? Their promotion, their salary, and things like that.
Oh, great.
Yes, because if somebody is not being paid well, then the tendency is he may start sinking. But if he's being paid well and he's being promoted, he's happy, then he will do his job well.
That is true.
So we also check that one. We also look at like what facilities do they have. Like we go to some of the branches and see, do they have enough space? When customers come in, like at the branches, that is where most of their customers come, either to lodge complaints, to ask for inquiries and information, and also for those that are retiring to come and engage and say, okay, look, I'm retiring, what do I need to do? What type of documents do I have to bring and all that? It happens at the branches. So we also check that one once every year in all of these things. So the combination of both the work we do in the office
and what you do physically.
Yes, give us a position.
Mr. Umar, we'll take a short break now to be back so you give us more insight into the activities of the Surveillance Department of the National Pension Commission. Viewers, the program is Pension Matters, and we'll take a short break now to be back shortly.
Do you know there is a new pension scheme in Nigeria? It is mandatory, it is contributory, it is fully funded, based on individual retirement savings account. Under the supervision of the National Pensions Commission, the new pension scheme guarantees lifelong financial independence for every citizen of Nigeria in public or private employment. PENCOM says it's a new dawn. Call the National Pensions Commission now or log on to www.pencom.gov.ng for further details. PENCOM, your contribution counts.
Welcome back. The program is Pension Matters. Mr. Umar, before the break, I was going to ask you, what measures does the Commission take to make sure that these operators, the pension fund administrators and the pension fund custodians, give good service delivery?
Yes. We have a lot of standards of performance that we want them to do.
Okay.
So, I mean, most of our guidelines require that they must meet certain standards. For example, there is a response time. If somebody lodges a complaint, you must respond within 48 hours. Mm-hmm. Now, the response...
48 hours?
Yes. The response could be a holding response. If like the answer is straightforward, then on telephone you just give him the answer. Mm-hmm. If like, however, maybe it requires maybe you go and do some check in your records in the office, then maybe within 24 hours or 48 hours. Mm. But there are some that will be more than that. Like if the complaint is involves 3 people, the complainant, the person he is doing the complaint against, and then the operator. So that one, then you have to wait and get the response from the other party.
Okay.
Now what you do is that within 48 hours, you are supposed to send somebody, okay, I have received your complaint, I'm looking at it, when I will get back to you. So that one you have at least made him aware that you are actually working on
his case.
Yes, exactly. So we have that type of arrangement. We have requirements in terms of infrastructure. What type of, for example, even to address customers, we ask people to have multiple channels. For example, walk-in customers can come to the office or to the branch.
Yes.
But we also say that you must have telephone lines, that somebody who can just call. And then we also have that you must have a website. So a lot of people just log on to the website and then they send a mail and then they get a response. Or they can log on and then they can, even themselves is interactive. So like for example, with my PFA, I can log on and then check my balance. I mean, it will allow me to get into my account and see how much my employer has sent, what is my balance, how much profit they have made. So those are standards that we establish for them to provide efficient customer service. Like also now we have required that they can also now send in the quarterly statements by mail. They can send it to your handset.
Okay.
They can, I mean, just your email, whether it is your handset, whether it is your laptop or your desktop, they can do that one. So those are the ways that we have enhanced Twitter and Facebook and all these new social media arrangements.
I'm made to understand that National Pension Commission, PENCOM, you have zero tolerance towards pension fund administrators that are not, playing by the guidelines given in the area of providing the account holders their balances and interest that accrue to their investment. So how do you make sure that these PFAs remit the interest that accrue to investment in the money that is in their retirement savings account?
The retirement savings account is a fund. So which means all the contributions that are being paid by the employer every month, it will go there.
Yes.
And then everything that is there belongs to all these retirement members of that retirement savings account.
Good.
So if they invest the money, they are investing it for these people, not for themselves.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Not for the PFA.
Not for the PFA.
The investment is purely not for the
Yes.
PFA, but for the account holder.
Yes. Even the money that, when the money is sent by the employer, the name of the account that money is hits in the bank is the RSA account.
Great.
So not the bank account.
Great.
So that way, everything in that account belongs to the RSA holder. And if there is profit, it is sent into that account, and then it is distributed equally for everybody. So, and that is part of the thing that we monitor on a daily basis. So every day we know how much profit you have made for these RSA holders.
We have about 21 pension fund administrators, and all of them cannot perform in the same capacity. So what strategies is the National Pension Commission using to make sure that these PFAs perform in the maximum capacity?
Yes, like for example, the first one is, the investment guidelines specified, in broad terms, the kind of asset they can invest their money in.
Okay.
And we are concerned about two things: safety and then profit. So because of that, the type of asset they can buy is very clearly defined, so we know what it is.
Just like you said.
And we measure what is happening in the industry. For example, what is the capital market returning? If the capital market is giving somebody 10%, we will expect our VFS to get 10% or 11% or 12%. If they get less than 10%, we will query them. How come the industry is giving 10% and you are getting 9%? That's
a good one.
So they have to explain and give us an answer. If they give us an answer that is not satisfactory, we will ask them to make good and make sure that they pay from their own pocket that 1%.
That's interesting.
So they must make sure that they do the investment in such a way that they don't underperform. If they perform below average, and we check and see that that one was done wrongly, then we will compel them to bring the money from their pocket and make good.
That's interesting. I'm sure with that kind of stringent measures put in place to make sure that defaulters get penalized, all the PFS will be on their toes. Umar, if I allow you to go today, I want to find out, we are in recession right now, it's obvious. So what impact is it having on pension contribution or pension fund?
Well, the impact of the recession is that it has resulted in the pension funds being invested more on fixed income. So a lot of the assets now have moved from even the small investment in equity. So we have moved to more safety and secure assets like the government treasury bills and things like that.
Yes.
And you know that even though we're in recession and inflation has gone, the rates have also gone. So in nominal terms, in fact, the payments are generating higher returns.
Exactly.
But in real terms, when you factor inflation, then maybe that's when you say, okay, maybe real returns are not as good as we want them to be. That is the effect of a recessionary area.
Recession actually, and then we keep hearing that the pension contribution is hitting almost 6 trillion, which means I don't think the recession is actually affecting the pension contribution.
Yes, still employers are making contributions. There are some employers that are having difficulty nowadays in doing the remittance, but generally the remittance, the monthly contribution has not really gone down.
Okay.
And like I said, the interest rate is higher now. Before, treasury bills will get you about 12%, 12%. Now they are getting about 14 to 16%. So in terms of the returns, nominally, you are getting higher returns. So the combination of the fact that there hasn't been a significant decrease in terms of monthly contributions and higher income coming as a result of higher interest rate is resulting into this 6 trillion. I'm sure before the answer will hit 6 trillion.
It's a win-win situation for the pension industry, I must say.
Well, it's a good one. It's a good one. At least the funds are increasing, and except for inflation, the nominal growth is welcome.
MD Mamos, thank you so very much for coming on the program today.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, I've been talking to MD Umar, the head surveillance department of the National Pension Commission. He has been able to tell us what his department is doing to make sure that the pension contributions are protected and to make sure that the PFAs, that is the pension fund administrators and the custodians, are on their toes, playing by the guideline as stipulated by the National Pension Commission. On that note, we end the program today. That's our package for pension matters for this week. We do hope you tune in next week for another exciting and educative episode of Pension Matters. Until then, I say enjoy your weekend and God bless you.